Friday, May 21st, 1999. Despite his busy schedule as a WWE wrestler, Owen Hart is able to return to his home in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. He and his wife Martha spend the day with their 7-year-old son Oj and 3-year-old daughter Athena. After a day of family fun, the children go to bed. Owen and Martha stay up talking and are excited about moving to their new home and having a third child within the next year. While they normally don't talk about wrestling, Owen Hart shares how he is feeling uneasy about his upcoming match that Sunday. The reason for the nervousness is that he's supposed to be lowered from the top of the arena and land in the ring. Hart has performed this stunt before, but there would be no guide wires this time. As they talk, Owen says something to his wife that rattles her. "If anything ever happened to me, I'd want you to find someone else, especially for Athena. Oj will be fine because he's really close to you. It'd be Athena that would need someone." Martha becomes upset and tells her husband not to talk that way. Still, Owen reiterates his thought. The couple confide in each other and relax by watching some home movies of their family before heading to bed. Saturday, May 22nd, 1999. Owen Hart wakes up in his own bed next to his wife and spends the morning with his family. His flight leaves at noon, so he rushes to get packed. While Martha takes their daughter to soccer practice, Owen decides to take his son with them to the airport to spend a little extra time together. As they are driving, Owen says to his son, "When I'm not at home, you're the little man in the house, and it's your job to be good to your mom and sister." Owen Hart boards the plane, and his flight lands in Illinois, where he wrestles at a non-televised WWE show that night. Afterward, Hart calls his wife, and the two have a long talk. Unbeknownst to them, this is the last time they will ever speak. Sunday, May 23rd, 1999. At about 3:30 p.m., Owen Hart arrives at the Kemper Arena in Kansas City, Missouri. In less than 4 hours, over 16,000 fans will fill the venue, and WWE will be broadcasting a pay-per-view event called Over the Edge. Hart does a test run of the equipment that will lower him from the arena rafters and into the ring. Despite some small errors, like Hart having trouble adjusting his cape, the test goes smoothly. Fans begin to arrive, and the show begins. Between 7 p.m. and 7:15 p.m., Owen Hart heads to the top of the arena and gets into his wrestling attire and prepares to make his entrance. After getting into the harness, Owen Hart moves into position. The arena goes dark while a promo video plays on a big screen. Owen goes over the railing and puts his weight into the harness. Then, suddenly, the harness makes a snapping noise and Owen Hart falls down to the floor. Hart lands in the southwest corner of the ring, almost hitting a WWE referee on his way down. The arena lights eventually come on and confusion follows. EMTs and WWE personnel rush towards Owen Hart's practically lifeless body. In the meantime, the viewers watching on TV don't know what has happened, but are made aware that something is wrong.
Folks, let's take you now to an interview conducted earlier tonight. And we got big problems out here.
The show comes to a standstill as medical staff desperately try to save Owen's life. On commentary, Jim Ross lets viewers know what has happened.
A very serious situation here at this point in time is being attended to by the EMTs.
After about 15 minutes, Owen Hart is rushed out of the ring and the show continues. However, much like the fans, the wrestlers' minds are focused on Owen.
Let's talk about business. First off, Owen Hart, I'm praying for you, buddy.
At approximately 8:22 p.m., Jim Ross would share a tragic update.
I have the unfortunate responsibility to let everyone know that Owen Hart has died.
Martha Hart is soon made aware of her husband's death, as well as Owen's extended family. After the show is off the air, Vince McMahon holds a press conference on the accident that has just happened.
Well, it would appear that there were no precautionary measures taken. Why not?
First of all, I resent your tone.
I resent the sarcasm. Again,
No, I resent your tone, lady, okay?
Why
This was a tragic accident.
Monday, May 24th, 1999. With more questions than answers, an investigation that began the night before continues. In the meantime, WWE's flagship show, Raw, is turned into a tribute to Owen Hart. The show opens with a 10-bell salute, and Hart's fellow wrestlers give their eulogies. The night ends with Stone Cold Steve Austin making a toast to Owen Hart and leaving a beer in the ring. Monday, May 31st, 1999. Owen Hart's funeral is held in his hometown of Calgary. In addition to family and friends, WWE wrestlers and other colleagues also attend the service, as well as the mayor of Calgary and the premier of Alberta. Additionally, over 1,000 fans turn out to pay their respects. Martha Hart also makes a promise to her late husband.
And I'm not bitter or angry, but there will be a day of reckoning, and this is my final promise to Owen.
Wednesday, June 16th, 1999. After doing her own investigating into the incident, Martha Hart files a lawsuit against WWE, Vince McMahon, the manufacturers of the harness, and the riggers who set up the stunt, the goal being to get justice and accountability for Owen Hart. This begins a long uphill battle for Martha. In response, Vince McMahon wants to move the lawsuit to Connecticut, where WWE's headquarters are located. The reason is because in Connecticut, there are no punitive damages awarded, unlike in Kansas City, where Martha had filed the lawsuit. This causes McMahon to sue Martha Hart on the grounds that Owen Hart, like all other WWE wrestlers, had in his contract that WWE could only be sued in Connecticut. Outside of the courtroom, some members of the Hart family began to turn on Martha. Since the family's life centered around wrestling, there was fear about what would happen to them now that Martha had sued Vince McMahon. Some of the Harts even went as far as to steal Martha's legal documents and give them to McMahon. Saturday, July 31st, 1989. After roughly 2.5 months, the investigation into Owen Hart's death is closed. It's determined that there's no basis for any criminal charges of involuntary manslaughter. While no one is being charged for the death of Owen Hart, Martha's lawsuit against those responsible continues. There is some good news though. The attorneys representing Martha Hart are successfully able to argue to keep the lawsuit in Kansas City. However, this is a small victory in a much larger battle, and Martha Hart's fight for justice continues. Monday, November 27th, 2000. After an over year-long legal battle, Martha realizes that the only thing the lawsuit will come to is money. She agrees to a settlement with WWE. The company pays a total of $18 million. $10 million goes to Martha, while $3 million goes to each of her children, and $2 million goes to Owen Hart's parents. However, for Martha Hart, this doesn't feel like a victory. Her mission of gaining justice for her husband has not been achieved. Therefore, Martha decides to create her own. December 2000. Believing that if she can help others in the name of her late husband, it would give meaning to his death. Using the money from the settlement, Martha launches the Owen Hart Foundation. The nonprofit helps communities by providing scholarships for students in need, housing for low-income families, and more. Justice for Owen Hart had finally been achieved, and over 20 years later, communities and people are still being helped in his namesake.